Sahanavavata, Sahanam Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavarai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavarai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Welcome all of you. Hope all of you are listening to me now. You are ready for the journey. We are all here with a tryst, with a destiny, as we have all reached a stage where we have to look our own journey, how we have moved right from birth till now. What is the meaning of the prayer just now I uttered? It says, may we together move, may we together relish, may we together perform with vigor, may we understand with brilliance, and may we not misunderstand or have no misunderstanding between ourselves. And 3 times we have told Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Why did we do that? You are going to understand very shortly why we uttered Shanti 3 times. Now, the problem is all of us are searching. Searching what? We do not know. But we are searching. Searching for money, searching for happiness, searching for good family, searching for good health. We keep on searching. But there is no one cause of search as such. In the first place, what is that we have lost to search? We have to think. Have we lost anything to search? Usually, we search when we have lost something. And here we are searching, though we do not know what we have lost. When we came here on the surface of the earth, what is that we got? What is that we brought with us? We came bare-handed. And now whatever that we have gained here is a gain. There is no loss here because we didn't bring anything. There was a small hotel in an island where a person came from nowhere. He built everything, built a big hotel. Then he married, he had children. Then he never used to bother about accounts or anything. He just used to go on. Then his son, after big education, came to him and told, "Father, it's time we should keep some account. Without account, how do you manage such a big thing?" Father told, "My son, I didn't bring anything. Whatever that is there is a gain. In the gain, what account you want to keep? Everything is gain only." Like that. We didn't bring anything. Everything what we have here in this universe is gain. But there is another problem here. If everything is gain and happiness, it's fine. But there is misery and unhappiness. What should we do for that? You mean to say the misery will disappear just like that? No, it's not so. We have to know what is that we have lost, and we have to actually search that thing which we have lost. There is a famous story of Nasruddin, you must be knowing. Nasruddin knew that anything lost can be gained only in the presence of light. Because in darkness, even if you search, you don't find anything. One day, there was no lamp. He was doing some work with his needle. It fell down in the dark room. He didn't know what to do. He looked outside. There was a street lamp there. He ran to the street lamp. Under the street lamp, he started searching for the needle. People came, "Hey, Nasruddin, what are you searching for?" And he told, "I am searching for the needle." "Where did you lose it?" "I lost it at my home." "How can you search here?" They laughed at him. And the same case is true with us. We have lost something. We haven't lost anything, but we feel we have lost something. What is that which was always there and we feel we have lost? This is little difficult wording. In the process, you will understand everything very slowly. Now let me start with my scientific background. And I don't put a lot of science into it. I will make it as simple as possible. Don't think it's a big science or anything. All right. But only thing is, you should start thinking in a different way. Not in the usual way what we have been thinking. Now, we are looking at the external world. Are you ready with your pen and paper or book? Please write down whenever you get some point very new. What you feel is something strange. I will explain that later. We see the external world beautiful. There is greenery everywhere. There is a blue sky. Everything is colorful. But do you know? Color is a myth. The external world has no color. You may be surprised to know I am right. The external world has no color. Then how do we see color? We actually see it is there. What we see, color, is just a particular wavelength of light. When particular wavelength is reflected from the tree or whatever the object, when it comes and reaches our retina, and that wavelength is sensed by a particular cone is a cell in the retina, and we perceive that color. It is just a perception and not a reality. Our brain perceives. And do you know, what we see is not the tree. What we see is in fact light. How in darkness, come on, see the tree. Can you see? Put off the light in your room and try to see your hand. Can you see it? Always we see the light. But how do you say we see the tree? It is there. It is just the reflection of photons of the light. The photons are reflected from the leaves or whatever object is there. Those photons are incident on our retina of the eye. And in the retina, do you know, only two things are red: dark, light. Nothing else. Even no color, dark light, that's all it knows. You're talking funny. Not funny. It's real. Only thing is, we have not gone and never tried to understand the scientific aspect of which. And there, perhaps you imagine, when the light comes, activity begins. When the darkness is there, activity is not there. You are wrong. When darkness is there, activity is there. When light is there, activity is not there. And whole just by on and off, dark and light, the whole universe is created, including color. So then what is universe then? A binary code present in the CPU retina. Retina is a central processing unit. It processes, and suddenly what is photons, a wavelength of light, is converted into electrical impulses, and these electrical impulses go to occipital lobe on the back of our head, that is in the brain, inside the dark chamber, pitch dark. Their neurons are excited. There is an electrical stimulation. Actually, it is an electrical dance. When there is an electrical dance, this dance is projected as the world. You see? So now here, there are two things. The external world without color, we do not know how it is, but projected world by our brain, which actually sees it differently with color, with shape, with beautiful arrangement. It is the creation of the brain, and that is pasted over the original thing which was present outside. And when you paste this, please follow carefully, I will go slow. When you paste this, you paste your emotion. And you know, there are two worlds now. One original world without color, without emotion. Then the world superimposed on that by our brain, by this gadget of ours, what is our creation. So how many creations are there now in the universe? There are two creations. One original creation, another our creation over the original creation. Therefore, our scriptures say there are two Srishtis. What are the two Srishtis? One Ishvara Srishti, original creation. Jiva Srishti, our creation. Who created this? We don't know. Even if we tell something, that can't be true. Because whatever we say, whatever we speak within the space and time. But that is something beyond it. It's imperceptible. Then what do you call that? We call this unmanifest. That we cannot perceive. So how many things are there now? We have to settle and understand. Three things are there. One, Ishvara, unmanifest. Don't think Ishvara as a God sitting somewhere in the heaven, doing every work. Not that kind of Ishvara. I am going to explain that to you. One is Ishvara, the creator, unmanifest. Another is Ishvara Srishti, without emotion, without color. Just to make use, I am using two words. And Jiva Srishti, with color and with emotion. Now the problem is we have forgotten Ishvara. We have forgotten Ishvara Srishti, and we are stuck with the Jiva Srishti alone. And who has created that Jiva Srishti? It is just the creation of our gadget, this body. our brain. How do you say? You close your eyes. There is no world. Close your ears. There is no sound. So what you see, what you hear is being projected back. Unfortunately, what our scientists have stuck is, scientists feel that whatever that is seen by our eyes, heard by ears, and five senses, and whatever that we can reproduce with exact measurements is alone truth. So what scientists are telling now, let us analyze properly. Jiva Srishti is alone true. And we are trying to prove that. But behind that, there must be something. That something remains when whole humanity disappears. Do you know that 5 times whole life on the surface of the earth has been effaced? If life on earth disappears this time, it will be the 6th time. All the 5 times, it was because of meteors coming and hitting and destroying the life on the surface of the earth. This is the first time where a human being is going to destroy himself for the first time. When hundreds of nukes are there, we are just living by thread. Any moment, any person whose thinking goes away can destroy the whole universe. We are at the edge of destruction. Why? We have forgotten the other two, Ishvara Srishti and Ishvara. When we told Om Shanti, 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 we have 3 Shanti. One for Jiva Srishti and for Jiva, whatever it is. Another for Ishvara Srishti, and the third one for Ishvara. So we have 3 times Shanti we have to tell. It means let all the 3 be quiet, be peaceful. What do we expect? We expect to live peacefully. Now, we take it forward, now slowly, and try to understand why all of us are not happy. For example, let us take an example that we are all senior citizens, our children are settled, they are taking care of us. In some cases it may not be, I agree, but let us assume they are taking care, you have got good health, then why you should not be happy? No, we are not happy at all. There is some expectation of some sort is always there. And that's not being fulfilled. If not anything, we say a daughter-in-law is not taking care, or somebody is not taking care, or some kind of thing like this we go on creating within ourselves. So now, what is the solution for this? The solution for this is, we should know, who am I? I am here, I was born, I grew up, and now I am coming to the end of my life. Still I have not understood, who am I? Will all of you do a simple exercise at home? Get your photos when you were a baby, then when you were a child, when you were going to school, college, then when you got the job, your marriage photo, then your adult photo, and then your now present photo. Keep all of them one by the side of the other and see, you cannot identify yourself when you are young. And how much of changes we have seen in the physical appearance. But one thing is common. We say, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this. So what is common? I am is common. So put photos by the side and write, with all this, I am is common. Then there is another person, I will do the same thing, and what is common for me? I am. Let 100 and 1,000 people write this, I am, I am, I am, I am. Then what is the only thing which is common? I am. So who am I? Who am I? You reverse that. Remove the who and say, I am. Who am I? I am. It takes some more time. Let's now, we have started our journey in this. By the end of our course or whatever, that's 1 week, we will understand this and we'll have a good comprehension. There's no doubt about it. Now, all of us are seeking happiness. What do you want? Why do you want to earn money? I want to be happy. Why do you want to build a house? I want to build a house comfortable. Finally what? I want to be happy. There was a person, it appears, who was relaxing by the side of a lake, under a tree, happily relaxing. Another fellow was going by, told, people like you are waste people. Our country is spoiled because of you. You are lazily spending time here. Why can't you go and work somewhere? Then this fellow asked, all right, I go and work. What should I do later? You get money. Yes, I get money. Then you build a house. Yes, I build a house. Then what? Buy a car. Yes, I buy a car. Then what? Then you enjoy. Relax. That's what I'm doing now. I'm exactly relaxing now. It is in the perception. It is how we perceive things. That is important. So now, happiness as we see, everyone seeks happiness, but we are not sure what is that happiness. I am going to tell you scientifically, explaining the brain and telling you what exactly is this happiness. I will train you to learn our own body. Unfortunately, we do so many things with our body, but we do not know what is this body is made up of. How brain functions, how gastrointestinal tract functions. We have no idea at all. Unless we know ourselves what we are, there is no way to know who am I. So I have decided to discuss these things, intricate things, which are very essential ones, not going into the very deep, into the medical science of that. So now, whenever we work because we want happiness, and we completely believe happiness is in objects. Now let us see, there are so many objects in the world. Every object is telling, you buy me, I give you happiness. You buy me, I give you happiness. So you know what happens? Whenever we buy something, that happiness, what we have got out of that, will stay only for a few minutes to few hours. Later it disappears. Have you not seen when you buy a car and you are so excited that in the middle of the night you go out and look at your car and feel the color is good. And then you throw a party and call people and say, I have bought a new car. Everyone say, congrats, you got a new car. Wonderful, wonderful. Hey, how is the color? Beautiful color, beautiful color. Which foolish fellow will tell that the color is not good when you have been called for a party, and they will always say it is good, and when they go out they comment, this fellow has got such a dirty one, and thinks that he has got a big one. He would have got a better model. You know, it happens. So here either we seek happiness in having car, or we seek happiness by getting praised by somebody else. We are all addicted to these things. There are centers in the brain which actually are responsible for this addiction, which we are going to discuss, of course, in detail. So now, coming back to this happiness, a very simple example is given. Do you know a street dog? A street dog goes and finds in some refuse a dry bone. It starts munching it, biting it. It doesn't get anything, but it believes there is something in it. It goes on biting it so hard that finally it injures its palate and its own blood oozes out. It takes its own blood and says, hey, there is something in this, and start biting. And our interaction with objects, possessing the objects, is of the same nature. Any object you possess for happiness, it is a time-bound phenomena. It will stay only temporarily. Have you not seen in your garage things thrown? And one day, when you had got them, you were so much loving them. What has happened to them today? You have just thrown them. You don't know what you bought some 30 years ago. On that day when you bought, oh, it was so exciting. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita says, if you go after objects, agama payino anityaha tan stitikshatva bharata. They come and they go. They are never permanent. And unfortunately, we are stuck with such things. Not only objects, even relatives. Nobody is permanent. It cannot be. Even children, no. And when children, when they go to America, they expect you to go there. Yes. You know, in America, there is a separate room in the ground floor called in-laws room. Only in-laws will go, stay there when you are on family way, when your daughter delivered, this daughter-in-law delivered. So you go, you help them, you stay there, wait for the weekend. Weekend they take you around, and then you come back, stay imprisoned in that small room. And when you come back, you stay here. Oh, I had been to America. It's so big and so great, you know. In America, people, oh, I cannot tell. And these people keep you watching with mouths open and they say, oh, is it so great there? Yes, yes, yes. But their life was miserable there. Yeah. So what am I trying to tell is, now, after having seen three Srishtis, what are the three Srishtis we have seen? Jiva Srishti, Ishvara Srishti, and Ishvara. Two Srishtis and Ishvara. All right. Now, let us focus on us, on our body. This is Jiva. It's a very important point, very important object taking part in the whole activity. So we will take this and we have to learn this. What about this body? When you learn about this body, do you know, again I repeat, when we see the body, we are seeing only outer surface of the body. Why? Because photons are reflected by only outer surface. Inner surface, they don't enter at all. Therefore, we don't see anything inside, only outer surface we see. Another point, you touch anything outside in the body, do you know this is all dead tissue? Hairs, dead tissue. How do you say? If it is not dead tissue, we would not have gone for hairdressing. It won't pain because it's not dead. It is dead tissue. Like that, you take enamel and you take epidermis. There's no blood supply. It's a dead tissue. What we pamper the outer side of the body and worldwide spend $7 billion is just a dead tissue. We are clothed in a dead tissue. If you are not to be clothed in that, you know what would have happened? Impossible to take bath. It would have pain. Another point here is, whenever you take bath, hundreds and thousands of cells are denuded. They go away. New cells come in their place. There is a continuous exchange of cells in the skin. Do you know? Within 28 days, the whole surface of the skin is completely changed. Within 72 hours, whole epithelial lining of the gastrointestinal tract, intestine, completely changed. You may be surprised to know if we take one bolus of food, it may be absorbed by one particular cell, and second bolus may not be absorbed by the same cell. It may not be there. Another cell will be doing that job. It means new cells are constantly being produced in the skin. Like that, in the whole body, within 7 years, whole body is changed. When we were studying, they used to say, except neurons. Now these days, neurons also change. Because a small, like, for example, the house is there, it looks like that only. Take one brick away, put another brick, replace each brick from another brick. After some time, house remains the same, but all bricks are changed. Like that, the protein is changed. Protein building blocks are constantly changed. So now, when they are changing so fast, how can you become old? Have you ever thought of it? You can't become old because you have got cells which are just born now in the body. Just born. Every time new cells are born in the body. But we consider ourselves we are aged. It is a perception. No, we see the hairs go gray, you know, that we put glasses and so many changes come. All these changes because in each cell there is a DNA and it has its own clock of time. So many divisions are expected there and so many divisions are expected as the divisions they go on increasing. So then automatically their ability to retain the original strength reduces. However, whatever it may be, the cell is new, just born only. What if we identify with the birth of the cells, not with the aging process? Then we are not old. Please think over this. We are not old. If we identify with I am, which is common to all of us, we are not old. But if we identify with our hair, we have become old. Identify with our teeth, we have become old. So becoming old is a perception. A person sitting, or an aged person remaining in the room or in the house, maybe very happily talking, going, meeting people and all that. And definitely that works. That makes their life really happy. So how we should be able to do that? We have to think now slowly and steadily. Before that, after seeing the skin, so you may be surprised to know there are folds here and all that, skin folds, wrinkles come, we become old. They use so many chemicals to keep the skin stretched and all. The best exercise would be, I will suggest all of you the best skin exercise for the face. You should go into your room, bolt the door. That you have to do, mandatory. Otherwise, people will think you something else. Be careful. Bolt the door, go in front of a mirror, look into the mirror, and then keep smiling at that person. Keep smiling. Have you ever smiled with that beautiful person? Go, look into the mirror and keep smiling in whatever way. You can scold also. Nobody bothers. You foolish fellow. You want so many things. Everything you want. Do you carry any of them at the time of your death? You came empty-handed, you go empty-handed, but every moment you seek prestige, you seek honor, you seek, I should have that, you should have that. Go on banging that fellow in front of mirror. It's a good exercise, really good. And then, I have not seen a person standing in front of the mirror and just like a statue standing. No, nobody stands like that. They twist their face, they turn this side, that side, look how they are looking. All these they do because this is a narcissistic phenomena which is inbuilt in our body. The most beautiful person for us is ourselves. That is the amount of attachment that we have to ourselves. All right. Now, what is the best exercise for this? In front of the mirror, you should smile, telling, cheese, cheese. You know how? 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10, you should count, you should make. There is a muscle here. We call it zygomaticus major. Many doctors are here. They will be knowing this is a smiling muscle. See? It pulls that. And wrinkles are reduced. And you just close your mouth tightly, very tightly, and muscles around that are exercised. You exercise all physical exercise, but never exercise the face. But nevertheless, you exercise one thing very nicely. What is that? Being sad. And that sadness is caused by a muscle here. I used to be very sad once. Therefore, you see, there is a very powerful fold here. Now I am no longer sad. But still, that will not leave you. That will have its own effect. Now look at this. There is a muscle here, zygomaticus minor. All right, we need not bother about that. This will make the mouth protrude and make it constrict around the mouth. This is the expression of sadness. And whenever it is there, the folds come around that. Therefore, you stand in front of the mirror and you start exercising the face by smiling. Next, you know that some people will have folds here. One fold, another fold, another fold. The best exercise for that is to contract like this and hold it for 10 seconds. Hold it for 10 seconds. And like that, you go on doing. That is the exercise. So what is required is not Botox treatment. Do you know, billions of dollars are spent in California, in Los Angeles, Hollywood, just to remove these folds, wrinkles. It's a poison. Botulinum toxin is a poison. They increase here in the ileum and make the muscle relax. So this extent of love for our body is there. Okay. I have talked about the skin now. After having talked about the skin, now let's move ahead. This body. Now, what is the next one? What is the next part in the body? Okay, whatever that is outside is dead tissue, I have told you, and so much of money is being spent on dead tissue. There is no blood supply for all this. It's fine. So we will now move on to success does not bring happiness, but happiness brings success. Can you write it down? Success does not bring happiness, but happiness brings success. In order to keep us healthy, it is very important to be happy. Many people, we think, whenever it is successful, when I got lottery, I become happy. You know, they have done research. If you get a lottery, the pleasure or happiness lies only for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, the person starts thinking, how I should save tax? Where should I keep this money? And his worry begins. So there is never happiness after success. On the other hand, if we go reverse, let us be happy, and success automatically comes. How can we be happy? I will tell you so many things for which we should be happy. Number 1, we have no skin cancer. Should we not be happy? You go to the hospital and see how many people have skin cancer. There are 3 types of cells in the skin. One basal cell, then flat cell, squamous cell, then melanocytes. All the 3 types of cells have cancer: melanocyte, melanoma, basal cell cancer, or squamous cell carcinoma. It's very common. We don't have anything like that. Should we not be happy? Look at our eyes. You can look at the world, so beautiful, everything. At this age, we are able to see. So therefore, we have to be grateful our eyes are still intact, which we can never purchase, you can never buy. Should we not be happy for that? We have ears where we can still hear properly, and we have to be happy for that. Like that, you portion of carcinogens, mutagens, and all the pathogens, but still nothing has happened to us. And we have to be grateful for that. Now, having grateful for what we have, we slowly change our psyche, mindset, and then it leads to success in life. How? In further classes I am going to take. All right, having seen now the skin, our body, now let us go to openings. Navadvara pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayan. You must have all seen in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, there is a sloka where there are 9 openings in the body. What are the 9 openings? There are 2 ear openings, the eyes, 4 nose to sac, mouth 8, anal, canal, anus 8, and the urethra. So the 9 are there. So we have 9 openings. So with these 9 openings, what you have to be very careful now is with the nose opening. Because it is through the nose that coronavirus enters. We love all objects, anything that appears we want, but we don't want corona. No, it's an object, but we don't want. Why? We don't want corona because corona kills us. And we want to live. So we don't want, that doesn't mean I am recommending you to welcome corona. So what I want to tell is, in order to prevent that, its entry has to be sealed. What is that entry? The nose. So we cannot always keep it closed. So I will tell you one small secret. By using that, you will not get corona. You know what is that? Anytime you touch anything, you wash your hand. Then immediately take water in the palm of your hand, close one nostril, take water, pull it up, then blow it out. Do it as many times as possible. After 2 hours, do it again. You know what happens? When corona is trying to enter, it's diluted. It's thrown out. It's through nose that it enters mostly. Though through mouth it may go, but through the mouth there are many enzymes and also directly goes to gastrointestinal tract. The possibility is less. So the nose is the main culprit. So what is the point that you should know? Keep the nose clean means clean it with water. Take the water in. Just tap water is sufficient. Blow it out. Keep blowing it out. Wash hands, keep blowing it out. You will definitely prevent. There is recently a study. Doctors who did this did not get corona, and doctors who didn't do this had corona. So be careful. It's a very simple method where you can do. And it's very common sense also. You know, the corona is trying to enter. You are sneezing. One sneeze, go to tap water and take water and keep on cleaning. And you are helping to throw it out. Next, ear. When it comes to ear, you use, I am going to mix up some ideas also and some scientific ideas also, spirituality also. This is some type of unique thing I want to do. From next class onwards, I am going to stick to the scientific explanation of immune system. Then I will explain microbiome, and then I am going to explain the nervous system, its function. All these things I am going to explain, and finally, how to know, to join Jiva Srishti, Ishvara Srishti, and Ishvara. And how to get detached from Jiva Srishti. This is a technique, and let us follow the technique from tomorrow onwards. Now, ear. Ear, you are not supposed to put your, what we say, the ear bud here always, because you are pushing that wax back into the eardrum. It gets stuck there and gives funny sound and uncomfortable feeling. So what after bath, all what you have to do is turn and go on doing like that. And that will reduce, and that will make the wax come out. And only outer part you can clean it, that's all. So this is a way you have to follow. Don't just go on pushing that wax over the eardrum. That's one other clean method. Coming to the mouth. In the mouth, all of you know how important is dental care. Please use in the old age the floss. Use of floss is a must. Between teeth, wherever we expect there is collection, you have to clean with floss and properly brush. And brushing before going to bed is mandatory. That we have to do. Mandatory. All right. Then what are the other things? So as usual, we know that whenever you use anus, in Indian system, we do not use many of them, they do not use tissue paper. In old age, it's advisable to use the tissue paper and then wash. This is a must, if possible. If it is economically not feasible, it is okay. Otherwise, it has to be done. All right. And in old age, it is very much, maybe sometimes there is a very small, thin muscle, even in dissection. It's not possible to see. It's such a fine muscle is there, sphincter. Sometimes this sphincter may not work properly. When it doesn't work for various reasons, there may be a non-control of fecal matter or urine in the case. So in all these cases, all senior citizens are advised to use the pads. Please don't feel, oh, I am using pad, others should not know. There is no way like that. We can use it. Let other people also know. That doesn't matter. And we have to develop immunity to such kind of thinking. Okay. Then, what is the other point now? From next class onwards, we have to stick to life and sticking to life, but not living life. What is this? You can write it down. Sticking to life, not living life. What is this life? Do you know that we all go to hospitals to get the treatment? But if a question is asked, where maximum number of deaths take place, in fact, it's in the hospital. Maximum number of people die in the hospital, where we are supposed to get cured there. The word cure, we are not supposed to use. Why, you know? There's nothing like cure. It's always a postponement of life. Earlier, it used to be 45 years of life expectancy. Now it has gone up to 78, 79 years. Why? We are postponing our lives. So what are hospitals then? Hospitals are places where death is postponed. We are very good in postponing certain conditions. In curing, we may not be of that. For example, hypertension is there. We can't cure, but we can maintain. Diabetes is there. We can't cure, but we can maintain. So regarding these things, what I would like to tell from next class onwards is, if we go to the root of things, that particular root, for example, we are made up of what? This human body is made up of, you don't believe, 100 trillion cells. Surprisingly, out of these 100 trillion cells, 50 trillion cells belong to our genome. Remaining 50 trillion cells do not belong to our genome. They have different genes, but they are in our body, part of our body. Now, whether this particular 50 trillion genome is our real genome or the other one is our real genome. What is that other one? It is bacteria and virus. Bacteria and virus are part of our body. They are very, very important in maintaining the health of our body. In fact, we are living along with other things in the universe. There is a hypothesis called Gaia hypothesis. According to that, the whole earth is one life. In that life, there are plants which take carbon dioxide, give oxygen. And we take oxygen, give out carbon dioxide. Plants, they take in light and convert the inorganic compounds into organic compounds, which become food. All these water cycle, you know, from ocean, water is evaporated. The cloud cries, the water falls down. Again, all water go to the sea or ocean. It's a cycle, continuous cycle. For example, if you talk of cycle, everything in our body is cycle. Do we know that plants have got what we say, it's grain or vegetable, which are made up of atoms. And those atoms come to us and it becomes our atoms. Our atoms again go back and they become the atoms of those fauna, flora, whatever it is. So totally, if you take, everything is a circle. And now with this, we will today conclude, but tomorrow, this is an introductory lecture, and tomorrow we will talk with the nervous system, and then we will go to immune system, and then the other very important system is genetic. What are genes? How does it control? And we will go to that again. Like that, 6 days, we understand ourselves very clearly. And finally, we go to the universe and we see how universe is made up of. How the smallest of small thing in the universe looks like. There is a theory called quantum theory. It appears altogether different. It is there, not there. It's very funny. We will understand that. And then finally, we try to connect ourselves with the nature and with the creator, and we will see who exactly is the creator. Finally, if we can prove that we are the creator, then there is no way that we can remain unhappy or become unhappy. By understanding, by this knowledge alone, we reach a stage where we can drive misery out of our life. It is possible to do it, but knowledge is important. What is that we have understood today? There are 3 things. One, Ishvara, and another one is Ishvara Srishti. The third one is Jiva Srishti. Now, in the Jiva Srishti, Jiva we are seeing. Now, later we will see how gastrointestinal tract acts, protein, and then carbohydrates, how diabetes comes, how hypertension comes, how we can prevent it, how our body tries to manage it. All these we understand. And finally, we will see whether we can beat our misery, our dependence, especially dependence. Misery is because of our dependence on money, dependence on children, dependence on somebody, some object is misery. When we detach from that, we become free. So misery is attachment. Detachment is something what is required of us. How we can do it? We are going to look into it. Certainly, I am very, very confident that we will achieve that at the end of our sessions. Thank you very much for attending. I'm grateful to you. Thank you very much. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you. Thank you very much. Come tomorrow exactly at 5 o'clock, but tomorrow will be different. I will show you some, it is science, little science, not much, in a way that you can understand. All right? Thank you very much. Come tomorrow without fail. Thank you.